Have you guys ever heard of the Kentucky meat shower? This was a period of several minutes when it was pouring down red meat in Kentucky. This was first reported by Mrs. Crouch, who was making soap on her porch. She reported seeing a piece of meat fall from the sky, and she started hearing the meat slap to the ground. Her and her husband thought that this was a sign from God. Now, these pieces of meat varied in size. Some were approximately 2 by 2 inches, where at least one of the chunks of meat was reported to be 4 inches by 4 inches. The meat appeared to be beef. 2 men who tasted it judged it to be either lamb or deer. Could you imagine tasting that? Theory that the substance was identified as nostoc, which is a cyanobacteria, but this looks nothing like red meat. So I don't know if that was it. A meat sample was given to the Newark Scientific Association for further analysis, leading them to the letter from Dr. Alan McLean Hamilton, who stated that the meat had been identified as either lung tissue from a horse or a human infant. Now, the theory as to where did this meat come from? This happened before airplanes were even being used. So how did all this meat just come flying out of the air? Locals favored an explanation that the meat was vomited up by vultures flying overhead. However, I don't know if vultures will puke when they're flying. Most of the time, I think they just do it on the ground. So I don't know. This was a crazy story to me. Have you guys ever heard of the Kentucky meat shower? Well, if you haven't, now you have.